This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This your boy Black Magus, talking some E3 with you guys, going over some of the things that we've heard over the past week. And one of the things that we heard a lot about during E3 week was Microsoft's HoloLens, as well as the different VR headsets that are coming to consoles and PC. You have Oculus Rift, you have Morpheus for PS4 exclusively, although I do think that Morpheus is probably going to find its way on the PC too. I just have a feeling about that. You have the Valve VR, and I think there's a couple more coming out, but those were two things that were talked about significantly. They had presence at both Sony and Microsoft's conferences, as Microsoft made the announcement of the partnership with Oculus and their in Windows, and I believe it's going to be also for Xbox One, although I don't think that Oculus is going to be able to run well on Xbox One. They've said a long time ago that you need a PC to do it, and I have a feeling that Oculus is going to require a pretty hefty PC, something that's going to outdo both consoles. So unless they make a secondary version that's console exclusive, I just don't see Oculus Rift doing much, if anything at all, on the console level. But anyway, so we have these devices coming. Most are coming in 2016. I believe Valve's VR is coming sometime later this year. And they're really trying to build a buzz about it. And there are some people who have bought into the hype of these things. Now, I know one person who hasn't, and that's Reggie Fils-Aimé from Nintendo, who hilariously said that he didn't think these things were fun. His reason was that he feels like VR isn't social, nor is it fun. You need to do something more socially interactive to actually be interesting, and he doesn't think these things do it. I find that hilariously ironic, considering that one, most people, although I think that a lot of them are wrong, would tell you that the Wii U doesn't look like a fun system. And secondly, and I think this is more accurate to the point of the irony, is that a lot of the complaints I've heard for Wii U is this lack of real social interactive, like games that don't let you interact on the mic, or don't have lobbies, party systems, and things like that. Yeah, Nintendo. And then you have to think about their lackluster online interface that they have. You know, yeah, you have the Me thing, but yeah, the online community thing, well, isn't something that Nintendo has perfected. So trying to call other people out for quote-unquote social ineptness, I don't know about that Reggie Fils-Aimé, but then hey, that dude's weird. He's scary looking. It is what it is. Moving on. Now, here's the point that I want to make, is that while yes, they're generating this hype, and there's some people who have, you know, really high hopes for these things, and I have to admit, like HoloLens, I thought that was amazing. The look of it, you know, it's a pretty cool idea. Virtual reality, I've never been that big on, because I'm old enough to have seen it be made a thing at least twice, if not 3 times, before this decade. It was something they tried to make big in the 80s, something they tried to make big in the 90s, and I wouldn't be surprised if early on in the aughts they tried to make it a big thing between 2000 and 2010. Now it's resurfaced again, and these companies are putting financial investment behind it, trying to make it the next big thing in gaming. They're not going to be the next big thing in gaming. And the truth of the matter is, virtual reality has always been marred by the fact that it's not something that is wanted in a practical sense by everybody. There's no real practical reason why you need virtual reality to enjoy yourself in gaming. Furthermore, the question of cost is going to come into play as well. And then you have to think about support. And when it comes to gaming, these things that I like to call novelty accessories don't generally get a lot of support. We've seen in the past what has happened. You know, the Wii U, it had its time at the top where people bought into the novelty of it, but you notice as time went on with the Wii U, the library started to thin out, quality of the games and the effort put behind these games started to wane and things like that, and people's interest, more importantly, just died out. People got it, they thought it was a cool party thing to have at the moment, and then they moved on within months and didn't really buy a lot of software for the Wii U. You know, most people you would see probably have 3 titles like that they play. Some are just the one that came with the Wii U. So it ended up being a novelty console. Nintendo tried to strike lightning twice with the gamepad, and there are people who enjoy it, but for the most part, people don't really want to play games that way. Same thing with Microsoft and Sony. Kinect came out, they made a big deal. Some people got aboard on the hype and realized after a little while that I don't really need this, I don't really want to use this. Some people now use Kinect for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One as a voice command thing to try to maneuver quicker, although I've been told by some people that it doesn't necessarily make you navigate the systems quicker. But in any event, Microsoft owners have moved on from the Kinect. You know, it's not a big deal, and it never was a big deal because Microsoft didn't throw a huge amount of software out behind it. Was that because the software sales weren't that great? Probably. Same thing with Sony and the PlayStation Move, or the PlayStation Eye from, you know, earlier PS3, late PS2 days. At the end of the day, it just wasn't something that a lot of people were vibing on, that a lot of people were digging on. It was cute for its time. Like, I made the mistake of buying one because I was curious. I never owned a Wii U, never really played it. So I wanted to see what's this motion stuff all about. Tried it, it worked great, played pretty cool. After about a month, never really touched it. Again, novelty, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting to see if these companies are gonna be able to break that cycle of these peripherals for these consoles and whatnot and make them significant parts of gaming. Personally, I think a lot of people really are more comfortable with the controller in their hand. I don't think people want to wear a helmet to quote-unquote immerse them into the gameplay. In a lot of ways, you're still going to need your controller, so I'm not sure how interactive these devices make you. You know what I mean? It's not like when Nintendo attempted. That's another thing about Reggie Fils-Aimé's comment too. Nintendo actually tried to do the virtual reality thing, so why is he knocking other people for doing it? Insane. But anyway, you know, I really don't know. I really don't know how big this is going to be, but I don't think it's going to be big at all. I don't think it's going to last long. I think, you know, R&D has wasted significant money, and I think we'll be coming back to this conversation in another 10-15 years like we've been doing for the past 3 decades, and talking about how big is virtual reality going to become for gaming. I do agree with most people it would probably be a big thing for porn, but outside of that, virtual reality is just a novelty as far as I'm concerned. But they could prove me wrong. They could definitely prove me wrong. Anyway, as always, you guys hit me up, let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.